Hello, and welcome to the Mindset Makeover, the podcast where we delve into the transformation journey, personal growth, and the power of embracing all parts of ourselves. I am your host, Paula Burks Jackson, aka Coach PBJ, and I am thrilled to have you join us on this incredible journey of self discovery and empowerment. Each episode, we will be talking with inspiring guests who have experienced profound transformation in their own lives. They'll share their stories, insights, and strategies for overcoming challenges, shifting mindsets, and embracing their inner shadows to unlock their fullest potential. Whether you're looking for a magnificent change in your life, or if you're seeking motivation, I am extremely happy to have you join us on today. And I am super excited about my guest on today. I met this young lady around November, maybe September, October, last quarter of last year. And we just connected. We've had some things in common. I ended up knowing her auntie, and our lives have been glued together ever since. So I'm going to be bringing to our stage Miss Keisa Campbell. Hey, Keisa.
Hey, girl. How you doing?
I am well, and yourself?
I am wonderful. I am good. Thank you for having me on today.
Oh, you are quite welcome. Keisa, do me a favor and tell the audience a little bit about you.
Well, I am Keisa Campbell. I am a life business and beauty coach. And my platform is Beautiful Living. I help women to transform their lives, operating in purpose, showing up in style so that they can live a fulfilled life. And so I am the author of The Journey to Beautiful Living, 7 Pillars for Living a Fulfilled Life. And I am so excited about that book, y'all, honey. Yes. So that is just a little bit about me in a nutshell. But at the end of the day, I am just a vessel here on the earth trying to just, do whatever God has asked me to do, which is impact, inspire, and empower women to live their lives fully.
Amen. So one thing I'm going to say about what you just said, though. You're not trying.
I caught that afterwards. I'm just here living life, being a vessel. I said, did I just say try? Because I'm listening to somebody for saying it like, no.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's the word we don't use, right?
That is the word we do not use.
Absolutely. It slip up because you know what? However old you are, I know you just had a birthday, so happy belated birthday. That's a word that was kind of ingrained in us, and we have to slowly. And the good thing is that we always catch it when we say it. You're gonna catch it. If you don't catch it, I'm gonna catch it, and we're gonna hold each other
accountable for that, right?
Awesome. So Keisa, my platform is the Mindset Makeover, and we're always talking about mindset. And we were talking even just last night that sometimes people don't even understand that they need help with their mindset. Sometimes we're so stuck in the way we are. I talked yesterday about several different mindsets, and sometimes people have a fixed mindset, and they don't let anything come in. They don't let anything come out. So can you share with us a story behind your transformation journey and how you begin to shift your mind to live the life, that beautiful living life with Keisa was born? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, so Paula, that question is loaded for me because there's like 3 things popped out, where my mindset had to shift. I'll go through them like really to lead me where I'm at. So I ended up being a teen mom. I was a teen mom at the age of 14. I had my first baby girl. And, I talk about it a lot because mindset is one of my pillars as well, that I had to shift my mind at 14. And so when we think about adults and in our adult life, it's very hard for me to like, why you have this mindset when I had to do this at the age of 14? I had to shift to say, I will not be a statistic. I will graduate with my class. And my daughter would not be a statistic neither, right? And so I had to put things in place right away at 14 to make sure that those things happened. Otherwise, I would have been a statistic, right? And so that led me, that really when the journey started, didn't even realize I was starting the journey when I had to shift purpose look like, because society would tell me a whole lot of negative things about what was going to happen to me as a teen mom, right? And I wasn't willing to accept that. I think it never even crossed my mind to accept it. I just knew what I wanted and had to do what I needed to do. And it's called a plan, goals, and and execute. And so along the journey of that, after becoming a teen mom and going ahead, not only graduated with my class, I got a scholarship, and I was able to just continue to thrive. I ended up getting married early though. I got married at the age of 21. And by 40, I was going through a divorce. I was divorced. And I had to shift my mindset again, because in that instance, my whole world was upside down. Everything that I knew, everything that all of who, I'm not going to say all of who I was, because I felt like I still had my own identity, even in marriage, but things was going to look different. My weekends were going to look different. When I came home, it was going to look different. Being a single mom now, I'm air quoting that, all of that. And so I was so scared to be by myself, Paula. I was so scared. I had never lived on my own. So that was the major mindset shift for me, because even when I went to go look for my apartment and got approved, girl, when it was time for me to move in, I called and was like, I changed my mind. How you want to change your mind and you got to get out this house? Like, how you want to change your mind when you got to have a place to stay? I was so scared. And I just remembered going into my apartment, moving stuff, and I was like, okay, Lord, I'm just going to do a little at a time, right? Because I got to do this, right? But I slid down the wall, and I just cried out to the Lord, and I said, God, I've never been in this place before, so you're going to have to help me. And what really got me for my mindset, I had to tell myself every day who I was. I could not allow those negative thoughts. I could not have a fixed mindset around the situation. I had to have a growth mindset. And so what I did was I started citing affirmations every day. I put them on my mirror. Girl, I even had a lampshade where I made into a carousel with Post-it notes all around it, just to remind me and help me, because my mind was trying to tell me all these negative things about what my situation was, right? And I couldn't allow that because I would have stayed stuck.
Right.
Your mindset ain't, you stay stuck. You stay in the same space. There's no growth. There's no movement. And I had to really just dive into the core of me and what I wanted, and overcome every negative thought that was coming to me in that moment. And I combated those really with affirmations. And that's how I got through that season, right? And the last thing that's more recently is me walking away from my job. And, God had been telling me to leave for almost 10 years. And there were every excuse for the reason why, right? And it took another mindset shift, because I was unfulfilled. I speak about living an unfulfilled life. Like, how you want to be unfulfilled over here? You telling people to live a fulfilled life, and you still over here and you unfulfilled. Like, girl, get it all the way together, right? And so I had to do some mind work. Like, what's the worst that can happen if you leave? Well, the worst that can happen is I just got to get another job if I have to come back, right? Oh, okay. Well, you can get another job. Go do what God told you to do. Like, why it took me so long to just get to that point, right? But there was other things that I had to execute, the fear, the other things that was coming at me, that I had to self-reflect, figure out where it was coming from, do the work, and then move forward.
Keisa, that's a lot. And at the end of the day, you talked about so many different, I talk about shadow, and I do shadow works. And for those who have not heard me talk about shadow work is just some of the things that Keisa talked about, those things that we suppress, those things that we hide in our mind, and it leads to fear. It paralyzes us. And it's because, I'm a little bit older than you. we come from a generation of people who would tell us, you don't quit that good job. I worked for the government, worked for the school system, so they would have said we have those good government jobs, right? Yes. So you don't quit those jobs. And to hear that, and I remember when I had you on my podcast, I think back in November, you had made up your mind that you was going to quit, and you even told yourself to do it this Tuesday. And then in between that time, fear came in, and you started. Our mind would give us every reason why we shouldn't do something. You start thinking about what you were saying, your doctor's appointment. Let me get all my doctor's appointment is. Let me just one thing after the other. We knew that
I did
because you had to get to that comfort zone, though. but sometimes it's necessary, right? Because
Mhm,
you
mhm.
also feel something. And even when you were sharing about your experience of being a young mom of 14 young, you know how many young girls out there just needed to hear that, Keisa?
Yeah,
There's a teen mom that's pregnant right now. She may be 14, she may be 15. In today's time, may even be 10 or 11, Lord help us, but they needed
right.
to hear that it's really up to them to decide what their
Yeah,
life is going to look like.
yeah,
Society will get to tell them how their life is going to look like. And
yeah,
if you tell yourself you can, you can. And if you tell yourself you can't, you can't. So what are you telling yourself? So thank you so much for sharing that. And I believe that a lot of young girls will be helped just by that story and the fear, and then you overcame.
yeah.
You didn't let it paralyze you. So yay,
I
Keith.
like I always like to say that, your past doesn't define your destiny. And so with that is, but it's all still mindset, right? And
Mhm,
even no matter what's around you, because a lot of those girls, I remember going back to a school and speaking, and I had quite a few teen moms in there,
mhm,
and the environment, right? And so even that's when you have to know that, because even your environment will have your mindset feeling like you can't do something, and that's where we got to do more work to
mhm,
help our
mhm,
youth.
mhm,
Me in that department with teen moms saying, no matter what it looks like, you get to decide.
mhm,
It's all in your mind. You get to decide. And these are some tools and resources. I didn't have any of that outside of my family that was very supportive. But me putting the stuff in place, that was me. Me going to my teachers asking for work, me going to my doctor, like, I can't be out for no 6 weeks. So what we're going to do? Like all of
mhm.
that was still me. My parents just supported it, and I'm thankful for that. But they were a huge support. So to get to that point. And so to your point, you don't have to stay in that space if you're listening to that. You have everything that you need to conquer. Just because you had a baby doesn't make you a statistic in a way that your life is over. It's not. It's just beginning, really, right? It's just beginning for you. And what you decide to do from that point on is very pivotal. It's
Yeah.
very pivotal. So
Yes, that is awesome, Keith. And like I said, someone needed to hear that. And we never know where our podcast or our conversations are going to
yeah,
take us. But I just really felt like somebody really needed to hear that. Some little girl really needed to be encouraged. The thing about life is just very interesting. I'm learning not to say it's right or wrong. It just is,
right.
right? It just is that when the female gets pregnant, where's the little boy? No.
Out doing whatever he want to do. And that's what we that's the thing. That's the thing right there, because she has to carry that whole weight, right?
Yeah,
Nobody would don't even ever have to know that he even exists. It's
yeah,
going to show.
yeah.
The belly's going to get big, all those things. She's going to have to walk around with that. And I hid my pregnancy for a long time because I didn't want my parents to know, for one. I was just like, oh Lord, but I was very active. I ran cross country. I was lifting weights. I was doing everything, right? So I
Mhm.
had this little bitty bump, but at some point that thing got out there, right?
You
And
don't for so long, right? But he gets to hide it sometimes for a lifetime. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
also something. If you listen to this podcast, just know that your decisions that you make in your life, we have to own them. We have to
yeah,
embrace them. Even if it's someone else involved, we still have to
yeah,
own our part, and that's
yes,
in everything in life. Own
yes,
your part. Nothing
yes.
happens isolated, and so we have to just own our part. So thank you again. That's the good stuff, Keisa. And like I said, when Keisa came onto the podcast and about leaving the job we talked about in 2017, I also just walked out, and it was frightening, but you can't allow your mind to dwell on it, because the more you think about it, the more you're going to talk yourself out of it.
Hmm.
Keith
Yeah,
said,
that is
what was
so
it?
true.
You
That
left,
is so true. Yeah, because
you
remember I
left,
had to go through all my.
you left in January.
Yeah, I did. So that's funny, because when people be asking me when I left, I've just be like, I've been gone for some months. I never put a
Right.
time stamp
Okay.
on it, right?
Right.
And so the funny
Just-
part is, um, the funny part to all of that is like overcoming. Like before I even got to that point, there were other fears that I still had to overcome. So it was even bigger than me just leaving the job, right? I had a
Mhm.
fear of dogs. And really, when I got over that last year and worked through that, that actually counterpulted me into this walking into this. I was like, if I can get over a fear of dogs that I've had all my life,
Dog. Okay.
yeah, dogs. Like if I can get over a fear of that and had to really, really work on it. And of course, when you tell the Lord, I don't want to be scared of something, he put you in a situation. He's like, how else you going to get over it, right? If I don't put you in a situation. And I seen like every house I went to, Paula,
Have dog.
had a dog. And I was like, really, Lord, what you doing?
I don't have a dog.
Except yours. Right. It was
I'm
just,
working to him. If I didn't, I probably would have a dog.
I was like, oh my. Like every time I was like, you didn't tell me you had a dog. Like, I was like, okay, Lord, I asked for this. Okay, I'm not going to be scared. And so working through that helped me to work through other things, in my life, and even the fear of me leaving the job. I did go through that. Let me get all my appointments in. Well, I got this.
Right.
Let me do this and let me do that. But let me tell you how God worked, though. I'm up there trying to hold on to this insurance that I was paying all this money for.
Yeah.
I got the same insurance with my same doctor. And I'm going to tell y'all how much I pay a month. I can't even tell y'all.
Go on, tell them, girl. Tell them.
It's less than 30 cents.
Wow. Dude, I need to talk to you because I need to get some different insurance. Because I'm probably out of my retirement check, I'm paying more than that. We need to talk after this, girl. Yes. How about that?
So I was just like, I was trying to do all of that because I was like, I don't know how much that insurance is going to cost me. I don't know if, all of that. Yeah, I think it's like 29 cents a month.
That's amazing.
And I get to go to my same doctor. Look, they just sent me a new card with my same ID number.
Amen. So again, it's all in our mind.
All in our mind.
As I already said, I have went before you.
Yes.
I know the plans I have.
Yes.
Look, plans to prosper you.
Yes.
Hope in the future. And now you don't have to worry about your health, because that is a legitimate concern.
Mm-hmm.
Healthcare, especially in America. But
right. Right.
That thing that you shared about fear, girl, that is so true. Also, Keisa, the biggest fear that I had to face was in 2006, and was losing someone really, really close to me. I had death in my family, and I've had, but I still had my parents. I still had my grandparents. I was married, and then my husband passed away.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest fear that I could have imagined. And so after that, I said, this has happened. That was one of the greatest things. So I wanted to start to face my fears as well.
Yeah.
And my biggest fear was flying in an airplane. I was 40 years old, had never been on an airplane.
Wow. Okay.
We become products of our environment, right?
Yeah.
Mom had never flown. My dad had flown a couple of times, but my mom and the conversations I heard around flying as a child just put the fear of flying in me. And so I did embrace that. And one of my girlfriends, she took me on a short trip to Destin, and Destin has always been my, if you want to take me somewhere where the water is blue and the sand is white, that's where I want to go.
Okay.
So she took me to Destin, and it was only a 45-minute flight. And I was like, I've been driving for 6 hours, and I could have been on the beach 5 hours and 15 minutes earlier. I couldn't believe it. Now, the funniest thing is when we got on the flight, we were flying Buddy Pass or something.
Okay.
She had some connections with the airplane, so we was playing Buddy Pass. And so when we got on the plane, they sat me in the exit row.
Okay.
And so the flight attendant comes over and they give that speech.
Uh-huh.
So she gave whatever the speech it was, and Keisa, this was me. I was like, what's gonna happen?
I already knew you were gonna cut up. You said it was your first time you got on the exit.
What's gonna happen? What you mean? And so my girlfriend says, I don't think that's a good seat for her. This is her first time flying. And so I ended up flying in first class. They took good care of me on that flight, but it was a short flight. But my mind, what I thought would happen in my mind, even when we experienced a little turbulence, my mind had it so much bigger than what it really was. Yeah, girl, where you want to go? Let's get on that plane.
Yes.
I caught that flight. My second was riding on a motorcycle. Now I rode on the back of one. That's something I don't have to do no more.
Yeah, I ain't got to do that again.
Yeah. I did conquer that, but now that's not my thing. I don't have to
Yeah,
do.
that ain't my thing neither.
Those were my two biggest fears at that
Yeah.
time. So yeah, so I
Yeah.
apologize again for that because it does give you that courage to know that you can move forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Awesome.
that you can keep moving forward. I didn't mind flying, even though it's a sometimes it's painful because my ears hurt really, really bad. But I
Hmm.
had to get over the fear of flying by myself. And
Okay.
so I would always go with groups of people, but I
Hmm.
had never like got to the airport, got on there by myself. And
Hmm.
I don't know if it was a fear, but it was just something I hadn't done it. But baby, when I did it, and I've been like,
Where we going?
well, right. I can meet you there. I ain't got to, I'll be there.
Right. Your daughter works for the airline, so you're going all the time now, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Awesome.
yes.
That's awesome. So, Keisa, a couple of the questions I have, I think you've already answered. I wanted to know what inspired you to make the change and how it has impacted your life, but you kind
Mhm.
of talked about that already. If there's anything you want to add about that.
No, it just, looking back on those things that I've had to overcome and how my mindset has to constantly shift, it has set me up to know that when things come, I have the ability to shift my mindset because of all the past experiences and, things that I've overcame by shifting my mindset. And so it's important to know, it's not a one and done. Mindset is everything, and we're constantly having to shift as
Right.
life goes on. And so, because I know that I can and I have,
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's possible, And so for the people out there listening, it's
Right.
not like I shifted it last time. I mean, every time I turn around, I got to shift my mind. Yes,
Oh,
until
do
the day you die.
right. Right. That's because we have growth mindset.
Yeah, we got growth
If
mindset.
you're not growing, if you're not learning, then you're not living. And so yeah,
Right.
your mind is always growing and always expanding. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Keisha, what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced when you were going through that process? You talked about the shifting of your mind as a child. You talked about having to move out on your own, even getting married. What are some of the biggest challenges, particularly and we even talked about the fear of not having when you left your job. Were those the biggest challenges that you had, or are there more?
I think even when I left my job, I was like, Lord, you still asking me to leave? I ain't got no husband no more. Like, it's just me. And God was like, so I'm not enough? That was
Mhm.
a bitch. Like, oh, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so just thinking about the things that I think that I need in the with society or in the with the natural eye,
Mhm.
that was a shift to
Mhm.
say, like, God, you are all I need, and you
Mhm.
are, regardless if I have a man or not,
Mhm.
it's you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And so just shifting my mindset even around that, because for a minute I was just like, mm-mm, I'm by
Mhm.
myself. I got these bills. Ain't nobody helping me with this, and that, blah. And I really had to like say, okay, Lord, it's me and you. What we're gonna do?
Mhm.
And that's a big mindset shift because at the end of the day, we are human beings in the flesh, and we feel like we need other people to grow and move through life. When in essence, he removed all those things off of your plate, you have to learn how to trust solely on him and depend solely on him, right? And so I really, not to say that I never depended on God or nothing like that. It's really putting me in a space where I had to shift my mindset, even around the relationship that I have with God, right? All of those things. And
Mhm.
because he is like the rock, that's what I'm leaning on right now,
Mhm.
right? I
Mhm.
still I don't have no husband.
Mhm.
So, it's
Mhm.
me and him. And
Mhm.
so just shifting my mindset, like really and truly, this is what I tell myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
Today, I have what I need. I cannot
Mhm.
worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow
Mhm.
has their own problems. That's biblical, right?
It
And so
is
when I
Matthew
yeah,
6:33. Yeah.
right. And so, when I'm up against something, I have to make a decision, especially when it's financial. And I have to say to myself, do you have it today? Can you do it today? You don't worry about tomorrow. We're talking about right now. You
Mhm.
know, and if is this going to help you thrive for it? Is it going to what I like? Those are the conversations that I have to do, because if I'm not careful, I can sink into a poverty mindset
Mm.
thinking I'm holding on, and that's still a mindset, right?
Mhm.
And so I those are some of the exercises I do daily, just about, what is it that I need today? Do you have it for today? Do it. Okay, move forward. Don't worry about tomorrow. God has supplied you with your
Yeah, that's
needs for
so.
today.
Mhm.
And
That's
so,
that kind of faith. I call it like learning to walk in the dark.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I don't know where I'm going, Lord. I just
yeah,
trust that if I put one feet in front of the other, I'm going to get to the other side of that room when you walk.
Yes.
And I just have to trust, even though I can't see it, I know that you are leading and guiding me because you said, you know, the plan you have for me.
Yeah.
That plan does not include failure.
That part. And so, shifting my mind just to know that I'm gonna be okay. I have to constantly tell me, girl, you're gonna be okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know you got this. You know you got him, he got you, you got this. Like, what I'm saying? It's like I constantly have to tell him because this is new territory for me. This
Mm-hmm.
is new territory for me. And I don't know. I just get up every day as a willing vessel to
Mm-hmm.
do the work, right? And ask for guidance and wisdom to
Mm-hmm.
this for today. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's just it's growing, and he's growing me and stretching me even in this season. So just looking forward to all the wonders. you
So
know.
when you, because like you said, it is a huge shift,
Mm-hmm.
huge shift in your faith and how you're trusting God on a whole different level. You know, one of the things that you and I have talked about, we're building, both building new businesses,
Yeah.
and we are learning a lot of what we want to do. We're learning a lot of what we don't want to do in
Right.
our businesses, and sometimes it just, you know, you may set up an event and you think people are going to show up, and then they let you down. They don't
Mm-hmm.
show up,
Mm-hmm.
and so then you're like second guessing yourself. God, is this what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do?
Yeah.
Keep saying, if you build, they will come. And so even having this discussion with you today, it's all about building. And
Mm-hmm.
how do you stay motivated when, like we talk about, when you plan something and people tell you, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there, but then they don't show up. And so how do you keep yourself motivated in spite of life?
So that's a good question. So I am thankful that I'm surrounded by people that know or who see what God sees in me as well, that
Mhm.
that know. And so a lot of times when I'm that way, first of all, I have to learn how to motivate myself. I actually have to, that's first and foremost. I have, if I'm being transparent, I've had a moment where I was like, Lord, I quit.
Right.
I ain't doing this no more. Like
That's
I
real
ain't doing it. I even said, you gotta get somebody else to do this. I just, this is a lot. It was like a couple of seconds later, I was like, Lord, I really did not quit. But I just don't know, you know, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I was like, you got this. This is part of the process. This is
Mhm.
part of the process. And I started thinking about all the other processes in my life that I had to go through, right? To
Mhm.
get to the other side of divorce, which was very, very ugly it was
Mhm.
ugly, like ugly. And I had, yeah, it was really, really bad.
Mhm.
And but that was the process that I had to get to this person that I am today, right?
Right.
And it was uncomfortable. I was afraid. I didn't know what to expect, the unknown. And so when I get to a place, even in this new season, this is still new for me. I already
Mhm.
been in uncomfortable spaces. I've been where I had to be pruned and processed. And so this is no different. And I recognize that because I'm like, okay, this is the season I'm in. But I
Mhm.
already know on the other side, which I call beautiful living of this journey, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. But I cannot grow weary and well doing. I have to just keep showing up, not give up. And, when I get to that point where I'm just like, it is a day, I normally phone a friend or somebody, you know what I'm saying? And they give me, it seems like whoever the Lord lay on my heart to call or something. And it may not even be for that reason. I was just like, you know what? I ain't talked to Paula in a minute. Let me just
Mhm.
call. And next thing you know, we're
Mhm.
talking about it and I'm getting uplifted and I'm getting excited again. And I'm like, I can do this, right? And it
Mhm.
helps to refuel me. And I think community is everything.
Right.
When you're in this season of whatever you're doing, it's important that you have a strong community
Mhm.
of people that's going to pour into you. To like, girl, you ain't letting go. We got stuff to do. You got some minds. You got some minds like you got some mindsets to make over. Okay, right? You got
Right.
some people that you need to take on this beautiful living journey, right? And walk them through the pillars of beautiful living and help them to live a fulfilled life. Like, no, you girl, get up. We ain't
Right.
having no pity.
Get
I
off
had
that
to tell
field.
myself,
Yes.
we ain't having no pity party. Like you, okay, you had your little 5 minutes. Get up and do what you gotta do because you got emails to send out. You got that post, like, and that's what happens, right? And I think just making sure that you know who you are and what the goal is, the vision. Where there's no vision, the people perish, right? And so, I know the vision, right? I've seen it, and
Mhm.
just making sure that I'm staying the course. And there may be some detours, but knowing how to get back on track, right? And talking to myself, my affirmations when I need them, and community has been everything. I see people, everybody that's out there doing, I'm like, oh no, oh, she don't post 5 times a day, that's what motivate me, I got to get out here, like that keeps me going. Being in a community of people that are winning, the people that are striving, people that are thriving forward, like that's who I need to be around. Because a lot of times, the saying is true. If you look at your circle and the people ain't doing nothing,
Mhm.
you likely not doing nothing. So you
Mhm.
have to shift your circle. You have to
Mhm.
shift your circle, and you have to get with people who are on the path, who's
Mhm.
going where you're going. May not be the same exact thing, but we're all heading somewhere, and we
Mhm.
all have goals and the dreams, and we are conquering them, right? And yeah, and I like to surround myself around those people, because that's what keep me going, right? That's what keep me
Absolutely.
motivated. That's how I
Absolutely.
motivate myself.
I used to tell my son and my daughter, you become the sum of the
Hmm.
5 people you hang around the most.
Yeah.
So check that circle. If that
Hmm.
circle is not going, and guess what? Something else. If you're the smartest one in your circle,
Yeah, get another circle.
you gotta get another circle.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
at the end of the day, I want to surround myself, like you said, with people who are doing the thing, people who are smarter than me.
Right.
I can learn something,
Learn from. Hmm.
right, and give some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give and learn at the same time.
Amazing, Keisa Campbell. Thank you so much for joining us on today. I know that there are going to be a lot of people that want to be inspired and motivated and encouraged by your story.
Yeah.
And girl, after this call, after this podcast, I got some other stuff that don't pop in my mind that I got to share with you that I got even in listening to your story.
Okay.
But Keisha, so for those who are motivated by you, for those who are inspired by your story, for those young girls out there who may be with child or have had a child and need someone like you who has been through it that can help guide them to beautiful living.
Yeah.
Keisha.
I am at on all social media platforms at KeisaCampbell.com. That's Keisa without the H.
Mhm.
On all, Instagram, Facebook, every platform. And my website is KeisaCampbell.com. And they can, go there and send a contact. I will get an email and I'll contact them there. They can DM me, or they can simply just purchase the book, The Journey to Beautiful Living, and that also will take them to how they can reach me. It's a free gift in there. I'm gonna pull this up. This is the book, y'all. Go get it. Go
All
get
right.
the book.
Awesome, awesome. And what if they want an autograph copy? What do they do?
Go to KeisaCampbell.com/shop, and you will
Okay,
get an autograph copy. If
okay.
otherwise, you won't get it from Amazon,
So
Target, all that.
to meet you somewhere.
Yes, yes, yes. So that's how, but tune in. Um, Join me on my social media. It's a lot of things. I'm always doing something to uplift the women, and I got to get back into these teen girls.
There's definitely a lot of work there. Yeah.
Yes, yes, a lot of work there, but yes.
So, Keisha, do you have any events coming up soon in the near future?
Well, I'm working on an event. I have not solidified the date. I have a date in mind, but it's not completely locked yet. But it is in June,
Okay.
and it is going to be called Pearls and Pumps. And I don't
Mhm.
know what edition I'm going to do, so you have to look out for that, Pearls and Pumps. So you have to follow me so you can see when I'm dropping that, because I would love to have the women come out, and we're gonna have a good old time. And also I'll be looking out for My Beautiful Living with Keisa. That's a new show that I'll be embarking on very soon. So you have to follow me so you can know when all these things are dropping.
Awesome. Now, Keisha, I can get with the pearls, but I gotta wear some pumps.
You can do the little kitten here.
You know, pumps don't mess me up with my heels, girl.
I know. I may let you have a look. I'm gonna tell you what I have to do though. You won't have to go come with some real cute bedazzled tennis shoes or something.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, I can do
Okay,
that.
okay, okay.
I'm trying to wear my pumps. I wore some on Sunday. I did. I had some.
Okay, okay, okay. Just gotta, you gotta have it. Look, gotta have some cute or something.
Right.
Then.
Keisa, thank you so much for joining us. I am blessed by your story, and I'm just grateful that our path have crossed.
Yes,
So
me too.
we'll be talking soon, young lady.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So you have heard, I hope that you were inspired and blessed by Keisa's story. What an amazing testimony of a woman. I said, what comes to my mind is who rose from the ashes. Now, not that she was in ashes, but from what society would have said to her, but how Keisha decided to, she wrote the narrative for her own story, and you can also do that. So if you were blessed by her present, blessed by her story, do reach out to Keisa and make sure that you too start to doing the work on your mind so that you can have a mindset makeover and enjoy the transformative life that you were born to do. This is Paula Burch Jackson, aka Coach BBJ. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.